the December 20th Born This Day Ninjas list. We're doing the report that we do here because we look at each calendar day like a guide for potential and what is possible. And we're going to look at a few people. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 10, 20. But these people all have something in common, that they were born the same day. But apart from that, so much diversity from place that they're from their profession, from their interests and passions. But it shows that these people were not just doing, not just working, they were becoming something. And they're notable figures from history, figures from film, sports, science, any line of work. We use AI to generate this list quick. We used to take a little bit longer to do this. So that is what's amazing. Thank you for supporting the brand, the channel, as we build this startup from scratch, from the ground up. These are ninjas born this day. We're going to start with 1579, Rye, England. This person's name is John Fletcher, a playwright who was selected to be, this is a funny one. I thought this was great that this showed up. He was a playwright for the English King's Men Theatre Company, which was like the theater company of record at a time when theater was, it was YouTube, it was social media, it was cinema, it was everything, right? The theater. Think about your play you're supposed to read in grade school, high school, college. All of those, they came from this tradition of theater from that time. And John Fletcher is interesting because he must have been really good, right? He was chosen to be the playwright for this very famous theater company. But he was the one who was chosen right after William Shakespeare. So he had some pretty big shoes to fill. So, hey, we need the next person to take over after Shakespeare. Can you do it? Yes, he said. So he ended up doing that, and he wrote something called The Maid's Tragedy, and I guess that was one of his most successful works. But the point there is sometimes you just got to attack that role, and he ended up, they said, sustaining the period of drama as it needed to be. So he probably had a great, illustrious career. We just don't remember his name as a playwright quite as much as William Shakespeare. We're going to move on to Ohio in the United States of America, 1868. This guy was a kind of an industrialist, which, well, I guess he became that after he learned how to melt rubber and make things out of rubber really good. His name was Harvey S. Firestone. Firestone, yeah, like that guy. He became a massive tycoon, worked with Henry Ford to develop automobile tires, mass production. At first it was called like the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, but they ended up selling a lot of tires and still do. And his quote is, "Success is the sum of details." That's pretty good, pretty succinct. Success is the sum of details. Who do we have after Roy Firestone? We're going to go to, still in the United States, Francis Turner, 1874. This is an engineer who helped oversee the construction and design of all the interstates of the United States, American roads and bridges on those interstates. He thought it was like a public service to put his best into that. And his quote was, "Good roads are the veins through which a nation moves." If you've ever been to the United States, you know that these interstates that go, there's some that go up and down, there's some that go side to side, all the way across America. You can, it's a big ass country, but you can actually get across pretty well on those interstates when you're not, moving through some large city. Obviously there's traffic and slowdowns. But Francis Turner was a ninja of that design, and it seems like he put his heart into it. Pretty cool. We're going to go to, still in the 1800s, 1881. Wow, I didn't realize this guy might have been born in 1881. Stockdale, Ohio. Branch Rickey. You ever heard of Branch Rickey? If you have, you probably know exactly like what he's most famous for. At first, he was a baseball player. Yeah, baseball must have been the rage. Like we were talking about theater before. Baseball at that time was, man, if you were just really good as a ball player, there might be some team you could get on and play quite a bit as a grown-up, not like a kid, like as a grown-up. Well, he wasn't that good at baseball to make money at it. So he kind of quit, and he got his degree, University of Michigan, Michigan man. And then he decided to get back into baseball, but as like a manager as an executive, actually. He wanted to work for a baseball team and help it be a business. He is attributed with starting the farm system of baseball, like the farming system, so that the biggest leagues would also finance and have connections to a smaller league, where in smaller markets where players could come from that market and kind of feed up to the major leagues. Now, the cool thing he did, and I always read about this guy in this great book that I had as a kid, this series of books called something about heroes, values, the value books or something. This book was about Jackie Robinson, and the value of this was courage. Like that, you're going to read about Jackie Robinson, and you're going to read about this guy, Branch Rickey, because Branch Rickey got to be an executive of a baseball team, and he said, you know what? There's a Negro leagues, and there's a major leagues, and if you're born black, guess what? You're playing in the Negro leagues. You're not playing in the major leagues. Well, Branch Rickey said, it's at some point this has to end, and it's got to start with one person. And he scoured like the earth, the whole country, to find out who could be the guy who had that courage and insane athletic ability to go with it, that he could actually be a Major League Baseball player. And that right combination of attitude, talent, teamwork, and demeanor that you're going to have to be this guy. He met Jackie Robinson, told him what was going to happen, made a plan with him, and all of a sudden you have Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier of baseball. And it's just such a huge thing. And sure, Branch Rickey was probably looking at it just as much as an executive, like, this can work, but it's got to take the right guy. And one of the cool things about that is he doesn't get the credit that Jackie Robinson gets, and shouldn't probably, but Jackie Robinson, if you listen to him talk, all the credit to Branch Rickey, which is one of the amazing things about Jackie Robinson as a person. And like, even on this channel, if you go to Not Just Ninjas and search for like other Born This Day ninjas, you're gonna look for the one that has Jackie Robinson, like he's the headliner of whatever day that is. And then I got this little speech on there that he's like, hey, it's all about Mr. Rickey. Jackie's a good ball player. He had good teammates, but he was like, man, it was all about Branch. And his Branch Rickey's quote that it pulled up here is, luck is the residue of design. I like that. Luck, it's a residue of the design. Interesting. We're going to go after that to, there's a little theme we'll discuss here. This is George Roy Hill, 1921, Minneapolis, Minnesotan. He was born in Minneapolis. I don't know if he stayed there very long, but that's where he was born. Academy Award winning director of a few big movies from the 70s through 80s. He directed Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, The Sting, Slaughterhouse-Five, and The World According to Garp. What's kind of interesting here is Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, he was the director of that movie. But really, who gets the credit for that? I mean, Sundance. The guy who played Sundance was Robert Redford. And now there's like the freaking Sundance Film Festival. Like Redford got tied to that role so much that became like kind of the enduring legacy of that movie. Guy who doesn't, I would have had no idea if you said, who's George Roy Hill? I'd have been like, I don't know, no idea. Does he work over there at the Walmart or something? And no, he directed some of those movies that people watched for decades. And some of them even have a stamp like the Sundance Film Festival that goes through time. His quote is, let's see what old George Roy Hill said. "The trick is telling the truth in a way people don't expect." Tell the truth in a way people don't expect. That's pretty good. So, see, this is the theme. All right, we're gonna get to it. The of doing something that lasts, that has a big effect, that makes a difference, that really does influence quite a few things, but you may not get credit for it in a grand sense as much as maybe somebody else does, but it's still, but the people who know, the people who are close to you, the people who are part of the project, who know about those types of things, they know. And the next person's, the next ninja's birthday is 1948. Looks like this guy's still alive. Born in London, England, Alan Parsons. He was a sound engineer on a couple of big records. Maybe Abbey Road. Ever heard of that? Let It Be. Well, Let It Be, like the best song by the greatest rock band in the history of the world. He was the sound engineer, the recording engineer and sound designer for that. And yeah, nobody probably gives that a whole lot of credit. Another cool thing about Alan Parsons is he founded the Alan Parsons Project. And I'll play something for you right now. They made this song. If you like the NBA, if you like sports, if you like walkout music, like Michael Jordan, you know this song, Chicago Bulls. Yes, this is the Alan Parsons Project. Serious is the song. And now, the 6'6" point guard from the University of North Carolina, Michael Jordan. Go back and watch Bulls entrance if you haven't seen that for a while. There's nothing like it in sports. That crowd in Chicago got insane when that music would begin. What a project. So Alan Parsons, another guy, no, he's not going to get the credit like the Beatles get for Let It Be, but he was right there. Ninja. Had to be very good at what he did. And his quote is, "You don't get to perfection by accident." Kind of goes back to that design thing. Interesting. That specifics, luck being the residue of design, as Branch Rickey said. Or what did Harvey Firestone said, "Success is the sum of details." Yeah. All right, you're starting to get it. Another guy, follows right along with the theme of maybe he didn't get the credit. Nate Newton was an offensive guard for the Dallas Cowboys. Won 3 Super Bowls. Everybody remembers like the big 3, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith. Nate Newton, if you watched, this dude was a ninja on that offensive line. And he probably was as big a piece of that success as of those 3 Super Bowls as any of those other players were. And yeah, the people who were right there, they knew it. But, you know, Not going to have the name recognition probably that Troy Aikman or Emmitt Smith get. But way to go, Nate Newton, ninja on the offensive line in the trenches. His quote is, "Consistency wins the long fight." And damn, that's a really good short quote. Nate Newton. And the last one, we're all the way into the 90s, 1990s, almost 2000, 1998, Paris, France. Kylian Mbappe. Forgive me if I didn't say his first name right or his last name. Kylian Mbappe. Global football star, the youngest guy ever to score, not the youngest, maybe just almost the same as Pele, to score a goal in like in a FIFA World Cup final. He was on the team, I believe, that won the World Cup in 2018 as a teenager. And then, 2018. And then on the same France team, they got to the finals, the World Cup finals in 2022. But Mbappe is magnetic player for French national team, and I don't know what like professional team he plays on. But that is the last ninja born December 20th. If that is you, or if you're working hard at something, remember you have something in common with people who defy odds and make things possible that didn't seem possible to most people. His quote is, "I always want to show what I can do and never settle." And you shouldn't too. So thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. We appreciate those things. They're kind of too small to read on the screen, but you've gotten us over 3,400 subscribers. So thank you for the support as we continue on this this path. Watch some of the other videos with some of the passengers of the rideshare that I've been doing over the past year and a half to support this brand, this startup. It's been really cool. Got so much more footage to share with some of the people that I've given rides to. Just awesome, just hundreds, thousands of awesome conversations. Keep a lookout for those. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, and thank you. Have a great day.